Okay. In a minute. Actually, construction people can go to work now. Okay, good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday morning. We're going to go through the 24 movement form. It's the simplified Tai Chi. We've been working on this for the last, I don't know how many weeks it's been now. I lost track, but we've gone through the whole form. I'll do that again. We do some drills and some warm-ups. If you're following it for the first time, it's a format. The 24 movement form is an international form that's been practiced since probably the late 40s maybe, and it's a universal form that's done globally. It's done a lot at senior centers. It's done at some hospitals, and mainly in China they do a lot of it. Here they also have it, but it's done in the parks and so forth. So it's a good form to learn, but if it's a little challenging because it has some of the deep stances, then you can always go to our other Tai Chi tutorials on the Tai Chi Paradigm, which is a form that doesn't have the deep stances and it doesn't have the kick. So it's an option. Those are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings at 9:30. So you might want to follow that as well. All right. So we start off with our feet shoulder width. We're going to do a few fundamental twists and work the body a little bit. And this is a fundamental because we have to turn the waist. Okay, we're going to go to side 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and stop. And then to the side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, next, hands up, limbering up a little bit, reach down, stretch. Go to the right, go to the left. I'm doing the mirror image to you, so whichever side I go to, you go to the same side, but it's actually the opposite. So if I go to my right, you go to your left. Reach down. If I go to my left, you go to your right. And turn. And back. Center, inhale, and exhale. Okay, one more time, hands up. Reach down, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands on your waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, cross, knees, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Okay. Hands on your waist. Let's turn the neck and turn the head. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stop. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Center, tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stop. Center, down, circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hands up. Pull in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so let's loosen up the hands and the wrists. Okay. Okay, bend the wrists. So this is more so when you push out, you'll be able to create a good palm push, because if the wrists are too tight, then it's going to only be flat. So we want to stretch it out a little bit, mainly because these muscles sometimes are a little bit tight. Okay. Okay, a few shoulder rolls. Okay, so that frees up the shoulders a little. Now we're going to work the circles here. Other side. Just turn. And center. Okay, spread the feet, turn the shoulders. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Relax the shoulders, let the arms hang. Don't keep the arms up like this and turning. Let it go. And center. Okay, let's shift to the side, stretch like this. Then we'll go to the other side. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Shake it out. Okay, so that really helps you open up the stances. Hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, shake it out. Let's face the mirror. working from behind. We're going to do the 45-degree back corner. Find the corner. So this movement is like a breaststroke, but it's really to repulse the monkey movement. So you see the hand coming toward the ear, then you find the front hand and you push out. So this is something you have to track as a reference point. Okay, let's go to this position again. Let's do this. Turn. Brush knee and push. Brush knee and push. First thing is you find the back corner and you see you align the hands like this. Then when you go down, the hands begin to coordinate. Okay, once you find the back corner and this hand aligns, here's a starting position. Here's a finishing position. Okay, so that happens in a specific stance, but I just want to take us through some of the basic foundation movements. So this is strum the lute. Strum the lute. Okay, look at the hand position here. This is stork flaps wings. Hand position, not the legs. Okay. Part the horse's mane. That's your final position. And these all stem from either to hold the ball position or a transition to here. Okay. All right. Now in the legs, we have the stance. We turn to the corner and we open it up. So here's your forward stance. You twist. Here's your checking of the weight. And the forward stance, you have to, I'm just exaggerating. You don't have to go so high, but your hips should be square now. And then you go to the corner, and then the foot comes back around. So it does take some strength to bring this foot from here to here. So this is really working. And that happens in the footwork, or the leg work. Okay, so that's a stepping forward, a half step. When we're in this lean position, we shift the weight and we shift like this and adjust. So if you look from the side view, when I take a step forward, now my feet are fairly close, and then it goes out, or it goes out, right? So what is this? This is called you check the weight. It's an empty stance. There's also an empty stance. This is checking your center, right? So once we're here, we go forward, and I twist out. It's called a twist step. Then I'm going to go to that corner, and then when I arc the front foot, it ends up here. And then we're in a frontal position, right? So that's the basic footwork. If we're in the position, we're in the forward position, we do this half step, we end up like this. Okay, so that's how we get into a suspended position for this, a suspended position for this, which is strum the lute, a suspended position for this, which is palm to the face, palm strikes face. Now, if we step to the corners, there's 45 degrees, we're moving to the corner, then we end up here. We move to the corner, and we end up here. So this is directional footwork mapped out in the form so that we know how to step in the different directions. We're in a position like this, and we're waving our hands. Then we move to the side. So this is cloud hands footwork. So we shift the weight to this supporting leg, we shift the weight to this leg, and we move. So we're working more on the lower half of the body right now, mainly because leg work and footwork, or leg methods, are probably the most difficult part of learning Tai Chi, because the agility of the footwork, the shifting of the weight, the balance and so forth really is something that we're not always familiar with. And because we're not familiar, the learning curve is a little bit steep. But once you understand that we shift the weight and we sustain the weight, we shift the weight and we sustain the weight, then we begin to realize that we're controlling our center of mass. Okay, so you soften the feet and you soften your feet. So this is something that you can work on. And I think last week I mentioned that when you wear shoes, if they're sneakers, they're a little bit thick on the soles, and sneakers are kind of designed for whatever sport you're practicing. So if you're jogging, you're running, sometimes the sneakers are not appropriate for this type of softness and sensitivity, because the soles of the feet really are very sensitive and have a lot of nerve endings that send messages to the brain. So you want to be able to feel the ground. That's called rooting, or feeling through the sensory system in the soles of your feet. Now, these shoes, you can actually get them online, or you can actually email us. I actually have shoes that you can wear. They're Tai Chi shoes, and they're really specific to this particular sport, if you consider a sport or recreation. All right, so now let's go to some of the postures. We're going to go like this, step out. This is part the horse's mane. Okay, so we have our right and left, part the horse's mane. Okay, we have one stork flaps wings. So I just did the footwork with the hand movements. When we turn to the back corner, we check the weight and we step out, and we have brush knee. That's our right side. And we step out, and we have a left side. Okay. Now, the length of the stance varies based on how strong your legs are going to be to take you into a deep stance. You don't have to be so deep that you can't get out of the stance, but you still want to shift your weight. So if you're using a shallow stance, then you still have to shift your weight. And you turn. The shallow stance is actually better if you're starting out and you're not going to really tax your legs as much. If you do the Wu style Tai Chi paradigm form, the stance itself is going to be a little bit narrow and shallower. So that makes it easier, and it's somewhat more natural to what you're accustomed to when you're walking. Because when you walk, and if you're doing this to improve balance or mobility, you want to at least go through the practice of shifting your weight, finding your center of mass and balancing, and then stepping through, and then you learn to walk soft and gracefully. So you're rolling. So what happens? Your feet have to become more nimble. Our hands, sometimes when you get older, you get arthritis and your joints get stiff. Well, the same thing happens in the other joints. But your feet, particularly because you might wear orthotics, you might not use your feet much, or you're not standing, you're not walking. So your feet are going to be either weaker, not nimble, the joints are kind of, stiff and arthritic. So you have to move your joints, especially the feet. There's lots of little bones in there. If we don't go up on our toes when we do the deep breathing, or we don't shift the weight, or we don't use our feet appropriately, then our feet are going to be dysfunctional, and then you're going to get ailments and pain in the soles of your feet, wherever it is. Pain is something that kind of discourages you from doing anything. But it's sort of, ironic that the pain comes from not using it, but yet we can't use it. So, you have to kind of work it, balance it out. Okay, now let's go through the form. Okay, so I'm going to start out here, and we're going to head in that direction. All right, preparation. We do first the part the horse's mane 3 times. So here's 3 part the horse's mane. That's the half step we talked about. And here's the stalk flap swings. And we're going to do 3 brush knee. And here's that half step to strum the lute. Then we turn to the back, fold the elbow. When we fold the elbow, the knee goes up, and you repulse the monkey. And we're going to do this 4 times. This is the 3rd one. And we sink and hold the position. Now on the 4th one, when the hand goes out, the lower hand stays here. We're going to hold the ball, and we're going to do the grasp the sparrow's tail. Okay, so sometimes it's called ward off, roll back, and press, and push. Now that's the left side. We're going to switch over to the right side. Now when we're here, if it's easier for you to just hold the position till we get around, then hold the ball. That's fine. You can go to the forward position, ward off, roll back, keep the front foot down, and that applies on the other side as well. Sit back, and here's the push. Okay. Now we're going to initiate the movement like we're doing cloud hands. So this is the cloud hand move. So we're going to initiate that move by turning first to the left, and you notice my foot. And then I go back, and I hook my wrists. I step out, and I'm going to create the single whip position. And then we turn back again, and we repeat that same hand movement, which is the cloud hands stepping to the left. So I'm going to run through the whole sequence so that people that know this get to practice that. Then we'll go back and work with some of the postures individually. Okay, now this is palm strikes face. We're going to lift the elbows, step to the corner on the left side. Okay, lift up, point the knee into this corner. We do a heel kick, and then we're going to do 2 punches to the ear. Now we're going to turn 180 degrees, so that corner to that corner. We lift up, we look in the corner, and we do the heel kick. We stand on one leg like this, and we go down, and we squat. This hand strokes down, it reaches this point, and then we're going to lift the knee all the way up to golden cockerel stance on one leg. Now the hand goes to the hook position in this corner. The hand is here. We lift the knee and go down. Then we stroke down the leg, and then we come up to this position, and then lift the opposite knee. Okay? Now we step out to the corner and hold the ball. Step up. This goes up to a high position. Jade Lady Work Shuttle. Lower this hand, hold the ball, step to the corner, Jade Lady Work Shuttle. Bring this foot next to the other one. That's that half step. Insert needle. So we're like this. Put your hand here, step forward, fan through the back. Keep the hands, just tip to the opposite side, sit back, create a back fist, put the foot down, turn the hand horizontally to the side as we transition forward to punch. That's divert, block, and punch. Then we're here, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. So when we separate the hands, bring it down. and then bring it over the top. Then we're going to turn the front foot toward the front to the mirror, go to the corner, come back through center, shift your weight, cross the arms, flip the hands so they're palm down, drop the elbows, and press. Okay, so that's the complete form. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So the grasp the sparrow's tail, it'll ward off, roll back, press, and push. That's called the grasp the sparrow's tail series. There's 4 different motions. So in the hold the ball position, this is my left side going forward. There's ward off. Okay. Set up your hands, roll back, cross the forearm, press, pull down like this, come over the top. So you see that's the 4 movements. Ward off, roll back, press, roll back, and push. So there's 4 movements that make up the grasp the sparrow's tail. Now we toe out and step up. Now we're going to do the right side. Now when we do the form, it's really 180 degrees on opposing sides, opposite sides. I'm just doing this to the front mirror so that you can, actually that stays down, that's up and then down, out. Okay, so when to hold the ball, step out, ward off, roll back, press, and push. So this, when you come down, it's like a circle. Okay, so it's a circular movement like that. All right. When we step up, this is your left side. This is your ward off, the first movement. The second movement is roll back or divert. Now we're going to look to the back a bit and cross the forearm. Now we go forward. This is called press. And then we pull down and push. So pulling down, it's like you're pulling down and then coming back with the palms. So here, we step up, open the stance, ward off, roll back, press, and push. Okay, so that's the grasp the sparrow. That's how you would practice those 2 postures, because grasp the sparrow, there's one set of postures. Part the horse's mane is a set of postures. There's 3 of those. Repulse the monkey is a set of those. It's going backwards. And then you have the interim single postures, stork, flaps, wings. And if you're in a position and you shift, take your half step, and you alternate the feet. And then when your hands go up, you bring this foot out so you're not so close together here. So that's the look. So every posture has a specific look to it. So this is where the consistency comes from, because if you're doing a universal form or you're doing a form that has a standard, you have to mimic the movement and then try to create the image that's being presented so that if you're doing a group form, you essentially look alike. So that's, for performance or for competition, that's really what's, being an objective. You're trying to create the posture and the imagery that you have. So this is stork, flaps, wings. Some styles do this, more the traditional is this, but in the modern, we're here more closer to the ear. The modern, I would consider the 24 simplified. It's been around for a while, but it's still considered, I consider it more of a modern form. Okay, so that's this. Palm strikes faces this, and the same applies here. When you step up, you're back here. This goes like this, and we end up here. Palm in front of the face. Okay, now when we go to the side, the way we practice this is to lift the knee. We lift the knee, lift, turn to the corner, turn, and lift. Now, whether you do the kick at the same time is optional depending on your flexibility and the strength and leg. But if you're kicking, the hands should finish at the same time. Okay, so you control your legs so that when you do the kick, you'll be able to take a step. So when we're in a, say, this hook position, and we're standing, this is what you practice, the stand, and then we have to bend this knee. So that's where it gets a little bit more challenging. So you notice when you're here and you go down, you have to squat down until you get your leg in position. Then this hand actually scoots down like this. And then it goes up the leg up to this position. Then from here, you have to bring the weight forward and lift. And that the same thing applies on this side. So that's where the challenge is. It's almost like doing a single-legged squat, and then you're going down. So when you go down, your hand goes like this, and then this goes up. Then you're going to turn, and your Jade Ladywork shuttle. So you see there's some challenging movements, and doing a squat on one leg is difficult. Doing a squat with two legs is sometimes difficult for some people. So it's not something that you would immediately jump into, because you might strain your thighs, and then that becomes counterproductive to why you're doing Tai Chi. So if you're going to do these squatted positions, use an apparatus like a chair or something like that to see what it feels like to squat down. And that way you know how much strength your leg has or doesn't have. That way you won't strain yourself or hurt yourself. If it's too difficult, then that's one movement that you may avoid doing. So how do you kind of go through those motions without doing the complete motion? So when you step to the corner, just go through the movement and do this. Step to the corner and just lift the knee and then go through the motion. If it's a downward posture, just do that. And then, okay. So this is adapting the form to your physical ability, because Tai Chi, although it's considered a health exercise and also, it's a form of athleticism, it is a sport in some instances. You have to do it in moderation and don't overdo it. If you're doing it for recreation or you've been prescribed to do Tai Chi, then you have to adapt it and adapt the form to you. Because you're not competing and you're not performing, just do it to your best ability, because there's still the benefit of memorizing the form, building coordination, moving and building good circulation and integration of body. So regardless of what style it is, you still have those same benefits. And, with that note, hope you got something out of this. We'll continue to practice this in this format, and I'll probably see you, if you're tuning in, next Wednesday. It's on YouTube, and you can follow it. Subscribe if you like this, and give us a thumbs up. Subscribing is important because we're trying to build viewership, and all of these videos, as you know, is being offered at no charge. So the only thing that you can do for us is actually go to YouTube and subscribe. That would be really helpful for us, and it's one of the things that that makes it something that would help us promote. Thank you.